When God says that it's time to move, baby, you gotta move. There will be times in life where we begin to outgrow circumstances, and we know that those circumstances no longer serve us, but for whatever reason, we don't move. And when that happens, God will show us in more ways than one that we're overstaying our welcome. But the problem is that we don't really listen to it. I like to call that our intuition, that little voice telling you that something isn't right, this space is no longer right, you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be doing this. We tend to put that voice in the back of our head. And then I would find myself in circumstances that weren't beneficial to my well-being or to my growth, all because I didn't listen. I'm gonna give you guys 3 scenarios of when God told me that it was time to move, but I didn't move. If it does resonate, you can reflect on what things you know are no longer serving you, what situations you need to exit that you still find yourself being stuck in. So I used to be friends with someone, but as time went on, I started to notice that they really didn't fuck with me for real. It was very common for this person to make passive aggressive comments. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I mean. We were on the phone one day and I was telling them about a date that I had gone on, and their response was, "Damn, your ass always going out on dates." And I'm like, I'm out here, I'm singling, I'm mingling, singling and mingling. Y'all know what I meant. We would be out in public and they would make a comment like, "Damn, all these people looking at you, like, why they staring at you in your face," right? And it was just like, real So long story short, I was sitting on my couch one day and I kid you not, y'all, a voice was like, "You gotta cut this person off." Long story short, I didn't listen. And this is the thing. People can be very good at pretending, but that mask is eventually going to fall. A person who does not like you, who does not fuck with you, they're only gonna be able to contain that for so long. Eventually, those negative feelings are gonna come out and it's gonna be in the form of an outburst. And if you let it get to that point because you've been ignoring the signs, that person is gonna end up doing you dirty. It's gonna be a bad fallout because you weren't listening to the subtle messages, the subtle nudges that God was giving you about that person's true character. So God is gonna be like, "All right, cool. You didn't want to move when I told you to move? All right, great. Now I'm about to shove you. Now you're really about to see what this person is about." And that is exactly what happened, y'all. We had a horrible fallout, friendship done. I could have avoided the way the situation turned out had I listened to the warning signs that I got from God about this person the first time. So if you haven't getting that gut feeling, an urge that you need to cut somebody out of your life because they don't mean you well, they are not doing anything for your growth, you need to listen. If you do not, you will find yourself in a situation where it is impossible to ignore the true intent, the true nature of that person. And they probably don't fuck with you for real. Now, y'all haven't really seen this side of me, but I used to love to turn up, okay? One day I was reflecting and I realized that alcohol was usually the common denominator in my poor decision making. When you drink, you want to have sex. Or you might be an angry drunk and you want to get into an altercation. You might get in your feelings and you send a text message to that ex you knew you should have left alone. One day, got another message from God and it was like, "Yeah, drinking, we gotta cut all that out. Drinking, it has to stop." Mind you, I live in Atlanta where almost every activity that you can think of has some form of alcohol attached to it. So I was like, dang, how am I gonna navigate a social life when I can't drink? But God told me not to drink, so I'm not gonna drink. But you know what? Peer pressure is a motherfucker, okay? So it went from I'm not drinking absolutely any alcohol to, okay, maybe I'll do like the little seltzers and wine, to, all right, well, maybe I'll just have a couple drinks every now and again. Do you know that my body started to reject alcohol? I would feel sick the next day. I would be extremely bloated. I would wake up feeling guilty because I knew that I said I was gonna stop drinking because I was told I was supposed to stop drinking and I wasn't listening. Well, recently I was at an event and, you know, I told people I don't drink like that, but someone still tried to give me some alcohol, like hard alcohol. And I was like, no. And it was like, just a little bit, we'll mix it in with what you already got. And I was like, okay, like whatever, I guess, right? still felt kind of guilty about it because I'm like, nah, this isn't something that I'm supposed to be doing. Do you know that I set that drink down, and as soon as I set that drink down, the wind knocked that shit over? God said, "Nyaga." And that was a clear sign to me from that moment. I was like, all right, God, I hear you. Think about what habits you have that are no longer serving you. It could be sex. You might smoke a little weed from time to time. It could be gambling. And sometimes you might not know what is hindering your growth, right? And so you really might have to sit down and have a conversation with God, like, God, I'm calling on you. I need you. Like, I want to be a better person. I don't know what steps I need to take to do that. Please help me. Help me figure out what I need to do, what I shouldn't be doing. And when I had that conversation, then I felt like those messages about what I needed to change within myself, those started rolling in. So kind of piggybacking off of what I said about no longer drinking, I realized that environments that are centered around drinking no longer serve me. For example, I do not like clubs. I hate clubs. I think there's a lot going on. There's a lot of sexual energy, of low vibrational energy. It smells like hookah. Everybody's drunk, spilling things, stepping on each other. It's just not my vibe, especially when you're a sober person in that setting. It's no bueno. But I found myself in a situation where I was in a club celebrating someone else, and I felt so out of place, and I felt a sense of anxiety. And this is no shade to anybody who likes going to the club, because I used to like the club, right? I'm just saying that where I am in my current space in life, it doesn't quite fit me. Sometimes we put ourselves in environments that we're not supposed to be in, and we feel uneasy, we feel nervous, there's an anxiety because the frequency that we're on is not quite aligning with the frequency of the place that we're in. Whatever your situation is, when you are in an environment that makes you feel like you have weight on your shoulders, that makes you feel like you're suffocating, God is putting that feeling in you to get you to move. All right, guys, it is 1:39 in the morning. I hope that this message made sense to y'all, but I really wanted to talk about it because even though my situation is not where I want to be and there's a lot of things that I'm still trying to accomplish, the sense of serenity that I have, because I know that I'm strengthening my relationship with God, but also I'm listening to the things that He's telling me to do, which makes my faith even stronger, that because I'm being obedient, I know that He's gonna bless me. It provides a certain level of peace that I feel like I've never had in my life before. And so I say all of this to say that if you feel like you are being pushed in a different direction, okay, and hopefully that direction is up, right? Because sometimes you fall down, you hit the ground so low that you ain't got no choice but to go up, right? God, you gotta pick me up. Help me. 2024, I know this year is speeding by, but I feel like there's so much growth that's still to be had this year. And I feel like God is preparing me for something great. When I tell y'all that I've been going through some shit, but I truly believe that when we are facing challenges back to back to back, where it's like, damn, I can't even get a break, God is transforming you, building your strength, preparing you to reach the next level, a higher version of yourself. And I think we just gotta embrace the journey, man. And let's talk about the journey. Nobody likes to talk about all the difficult stuff, and I hate that about society. No one likes to be real about the hardships that they face. Everyone likes to put on a facade like, twinkle, twinkle, my life is so amazing. No, it's not. And yeah, I think that's it. God, did I touch on everything I was supposed to touch on? Yeah, I think we're good. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, and until next time, y'all. Bye.